I enjoyed this conversation.
All right. This is going to go well. All right, let's kick this thing off. Coffee with the Coaches, episode 10.
Yes.
I think it's episode 10.
Yeah, we're on 10.
Coming to you once again from the Mega Desk.
Mega Desk.
And we got a special guest with us today. On microphone 1, it's me. I'm Michael. Number 2, we've got my esteemed colleague, Paige Aru, as always.
Hello,
What's
hello.
up, Paige?
Good morning.
And then on number 3, we got a brand new guest. It's Sam Thomas. What's up, Sam Thomas?
What's up, everybody?
So we actually had your
SMFT. You can say it to me.
Oh, I know not to say it either.
We actually had your arch nemesis, your CrossFit arch nemesis, on the podcast
Oh,
a couple
yeah,
weeks ago,
a couple
Heather.
weeks ago. Did you listen to
She
that
was
one?
actually first. I'm sorry, dude.
Well, obviously, I'm better.
She beat you again.
Heather is my nemesis. She's a good one.
Yeah, if you're going to have one, she's the one to have.
Sam immediately walked into the room today and saw Heather Williams and was like, "Hey, Heather, did you see that I beat you yesterday?" Right out of the gate. First thing.
Because she always kicks my ass, and I hate. And lets me know. Like she likes to tell me. So when I get the chance, man, I'm there.
Well, I know, I think you and Heather actually embody the right kind of competitiveness. And we were, Paige and Ada and I were talking about a little bit about competitiveness last week. And so the way you and Heather go back and forth with each other, I think is the right way to go, because you guys are playful about it. You talk a little trash, but when it really comes down to it, you guys are very good natured. Nobody gets butt hurt when they lose. So you guys do
Except
it right.
you.
Yeah, except for you.
Except
Sometimes
me.
you
I
butt
do
hurt.
get butthurt. Now I keep it inside, but I promise you, I am hurting. No, I enjoy it with her, man. She's so competitive, but motivated too. She'll still motivate me even when I'm kicking her ass.
That's what it's all about. That's perfect.
Yeah, you guys keep it fun, and that's what's up.
Yeah.
Well,
You've been kicking butt in CrossFit for what?
A little over 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and I should have looked this up before we
Close
got
to
started,
one of
but
the original.
I know.
Original.
It is because I look.
Heather has you beat on this too. I'm sorry.
It drives me nuts because I look on that board because that is kind of a competition too to me. Who's been here the longest? So I look up there and I'm like, whose dates are longer? So obviously I lost that one also.
well, I remember when you first got started. It was pretty early on when we first opened up, and then I think you took a few months off, maybe 3 or 4 months, but then got back into it, and then you've been steady ever since. So you and Heather are definitely a couple of the original OGs from back in the day.
Well, it's
Straight
been
through.
It's been one of the best things for me all around. Just as far as like physically, I had so many problems. Like we've talked about this before with my knees. Like there was a point where I didn't really walk for about 3 to 6 months. I was in a wheelchair or on crutches.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, they've just been weak. So I've been scared to use them.
Yeah.
And when I came here, I mean, you're forced to use them, I guess. I don't know. For whatever reason, it just helped me. Like, I can run now. I was never able to run. And it doesn't make any sense. I try to explain it to people. They're like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because they were so bad, and you go there, and you're really using them.
Well, before you dig in too deep to where you are now, tell us a little bit about your background. Like, how did you get to that point to where your legs were so messed up or your knees were so messed up and you were in the wheelchair?
Oh, so when I was in the Marine Corps, I was on a division comp team. And they took 5 of us, and they made kind of like a little super squad. We were dragons. And so they took the 5 best, and then they had us go up other battalions or regiments that were dragons. And it just took its toll. I was about 135 pounds, 140 pounds, and my pack load was 130.
Yeah, so you're carrying
So you're
double.
carrying it,
Yeah.
and you're running on pavement, and
Yeah.
just crap like that. And so it finally took its toll. And when I got out, just working labor jobs, they got bad. I wound up getting a bunch of surgeries, all that good stuff.
Did you have any surgeries that went bad, or was it just they didn't help as much as you wanted or hoped they would?
Yeah, they just didn't help. And finally the doctor said, "Hey, it is what it is, buddy."
Yeah.
And so you just kind of accept it and you go on. And so you dealt with it a long time, but
Well, how long was it that bad where you were actually in a wheelchair?
that was just about 6 months, but that was only because I got a surgery on my left knee, and then there was no weight bearing for, I don't know, months. I had a bunch of stress fractures all through. They had to sand the underneath of my kneecaps. They were pulled out too far, so they rubbed little notches in your bones from being just from stress. And then, so you couldn't be weight bearing. So then as soon as they did that, 2 months later, they did the right knee. So I never did get out of the chair or the crutches. And then that didn't work. So that one worked. Then the left knee had to be redone again. So then 2 months later, they do the left knee again.
Yeah.
And so I'd go out in a parking lot because I need to work out. And I'm in my wheelchair riding around in circles in the school parking lot. And people are looking at me like I'm some type of weirdo. But I was like, I gotta do something. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, it's been about 7 years since we talked about this, and I remember you telling me all this when you first got into CrossFit, but it's been a while since I've heard you tell this story.
But
Did you do anything before you started CrossFit to kind of rehab that, or did you just kind of rest for a few months once you could walk a little and then came in?
no, so I did a lot of rehab and a lot of working out. In fact, there's a guy, I don't know if I can say his name or not, but he helped me. So insurance ran out, and there was a guy, they said, too bad, no more rehab. And I had just gotten my third surgery. I was in some trouble,
Yeah.
I needed help. And this guy used to take me in his rehab facility for free and would work with me and did a lot for me.
Yeah.
A great person. I every time I see this guy, I remind him of it, what a great person he was.
That's awesome.
But he tried, and just nothing would really work. I went to the gym forever, did things. Nothing worked. I mean, literally nothing fixed it. I'd get shots underneath my kneecaps all the time. Nothing worked until I came here.
Yeah.
Honest truth. I talk about this place so much. People need to understand. I'm not trying to,
Blow
do
smoke.
something to you, but
If you want to sing our praises, we'll let you.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean it. I tell people all the time, like, you don't understand. It's like it's magic. I don't even know how to explain it.
So, like, what kind of movements were you doing for rehab? Do you remember, like, what?
Oh, yeah, I think a lot of them, let me see. It's something about, they make you hold your feet a little bit out. Something about when I'm doing presses, something for my kneecaps.
So it tracks.
They did a lot of that, normal stuff like the TENS units. And then, I don't know. I can't
Were you
it's been so
doing
long.
any sort of actual movement similar to what we do in here? Like, were you doing any sort of body weight squats or any sort of like hamstring exercises or any like quad specific stuff, or was it just kind of a double leg press a little bit, extend your knee, not much resistance?
It was more of that. Yeah, it was pretty much more of that kind of stuff. And I guess I never thought about it. Yeah. I guess that's
Which is
really the
good.
reason I come in here and we do so much body weight stuff.
Well, and I mean, from an outsider's perspective, it's really clear to me. It's not magic. It's
Yeah.
just that we actually got you doing functional
Resistance. Yeah.
exercises. Essentially, we had you. We started off small and had you squatting and lunging and stepping up and doing things to just strengthen all those muscles and tissues around your knees.
Yeah.
So over time, you got stronger, and then the pain went away.
Yeah.
It did.
And this
I don't have pain.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but it's.
And this certainly isn't to say that like physical therapy doesn't help. Like, it's not a good thing. It's necessary when you come back from some
for
sort of
sure.
injury like that. You have to have that therapy process where you can like slowly strengthen and build and learn that motor control, because your tendons and your muscles might be on a different path than they were previously. So all those things are super important. I'm sure that fella helped you a whole lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And to help you get in here. If that had not occurred, you probably wouldn't be sitting here today if you hadn't gone through that rehab process. So that's awesome. But yeah, we just got you actually moving through fuller ranges of motions once you were able to flex and use your knees as much as.
Yeah, I remember a lot of that in the beginning, talking to Sam about squats, because he had the 3-inch squat there for a while, and I was like, "No, Sam, you got to go a little lower than that."
With about 30 pounds.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean,
It was pretty weak.
we definitely started off small.
Sometimes you guys start there. That's
Yeah.
just where you have to start. Some people who can squat 500 pounds should really go back to doing 30 pounds and doing it correctly. So it's just a matter of where you're at and what your goals are and what outcome we're looking for.
Yeah, this is a real trip down memory lane, because it's hard to even
Yeah.
remember Sam from 7 years
Right?
ago. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I remember just
You can like overhead squat now, almost pretty.
It's semi-close.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer every year.
That's funny.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you're right. The physical therapy was like the first level. It had to be done. And then once it did, this was like the second
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
took me to where I needed to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, I remember increasing your range of motion a little bit over time, and then the range of motion got better, and then strength started improving, and fast forward 7 years, here you are trying to keep up with Heather Williams.
Yeah. Now you're a monster.
Except yesterday I beat her.
Hey,
Again.
Okay.
the sun even shines on a dog's ass occasionally.
That's hilarious.
Oh, shoot. So, I don't know. So, I don't know if I can jump off subject too, but yeah. The other
Oh,
thing.
we jump around all the
Oh,
time.
sweet.
Let's go all over the place.
So, mentally, if I didn't have you guys, I'd throw people through windows. I can tell you right now. I mean, Paige, we've got to work together a little bit, and I get a little, once in a
Yeah.
while, like
Little wound up.
A little
Yes,
wound up.
yeah.
I'm a little wound sometimes, but not bad. But this place, I'm telling you, it releases everything for me. This is my, I don't know, I don't want to say church, but
Yeah.
I don't want to upset anybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, honestly, that makes sense. I definitely hear people talk about how they get the same type of thing as they might get from church, or exercise might be the religion for them, things like that. That makes sense. You're not the first person to say that.
It's awesome. It's just so positive. I don't care. I have such shitty days sometimes, once in a while. We all do, part of life. But I will come in here, and it's just positive. It's like we were talking about with me and Heather. We talk so much shit or smack to each other, and I love it. But in the end, we're all real positive.
Yeah.
And every time I come in here, I know that, and it's just a feeling, and it's just. It gets me through my days. When if I don't get to come here for a couple of days, like at Christmas, we were real busy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough. I do not like it. I do not like not coming. So.
It's like we got our own little fitness fraternity around here. I guess.
Heck yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, your shop. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about being a small business in Sikeston. I think it's pretty cool, especially right now, because we live in a smaller town. We're affected by the pandemic, obviously, but I think we
There
should
are
be
definitely some locations that are getting hit way harder than we are.
I think we should be very grateful that we are in an area where, of course, we have to take extra precautions and everything, but it's nice to be able to still pretty much continue business without all the financial repercussions that the pandemic has brought. Have you had any negative reactions to the pandemic, or what's
No, it's been good. So basically what you were saying, we are so fortunate where we live. I look around at all these places, and I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some places are worse than others.
Yeah.
We're real fortunate. We live in a smaller area. We're not as affected as other places. And as far as business, our town is really, it's pro-business.
Yeah.
They are helping us. We had about, I don't know, we probably had a week that was bad. And after that,
Down at the jewelry store.
down at the jewelry shop, and ever since then it's been good. Now the good thing that this pandemic brought, I'm not saying anything. There's a lot of negatives, so I'm not.
Well, there's
trying
silver
to,
linings to
yeah,
everything.
I'm not trying to disrespect anybody with that, but for me, it made us learn new ways to do business.
Yeah, I think that's been a real benefit to a
Yeah.
lot of small business owners.
Oh my gosh! If you're a small business owner, you're an entrepreneur, and to be an entrepreneur, you always have to come up with new ideas. And when this hit, it forced you. I mean, it forced you to do that, and if you did it, I think a lot of people have excelled. When you look across, there's a lot of people that have excelled.
Yeah,
And when it's over, we're still going to use those same ideas.
Yeah.
So it's going to. I mean, that would be the positive outtake from it,
yeah.
Yeah.
if there was,
Yeah, I've been thinking about it like the cream rising to the top. I mean, when you have anything like this, any big shakeup or any big stress situation, like the people, the entrepreneurial minded people, they're the ones that really thrive in that type of environment. And so I've definitely seen we're going to see the cream rise to the top, and the people that actually have a good head on their shoulders and they've got a decent support system, like they're going to come out of this way ahead, because for one, I mean, just to put it bluntly, it's eliminating a lot of competition.
Yes.
Just to put it
It is.
bluntly. And I mean, I know that's certainly a negative for some people, but then for those people that are really willing to stick with it and push through. Like, that's just one more reason why this is working out well for some people.
Absolutely. We had an interesting, I don't know, it's kind of an epiphany for me. Not that it really affects me because I don't have kids, but this morning, Tiffany was talking about her kids being out of school today because it snowed really bad in Bell City. Charleston is planning to be out also, but they are just planning just to go virtual. They said, all right, we're just going to be virtual. It's not a snow day. They're just going to say, it looks like it's going to snow, so everybody's going to school at home this day. So schools probably won't have snow days anymore now that they know they can do schooling virtually.
They're so good at the virtual thing now.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
not
that's
gonna
true.
you're gonna have your set days and you're just gonna go those days. And if you have there's no snow days, so if you have to stay home, unless your power goes out or your internet shuts down because of the snow, like you can still go to school.
Yeah.
I will probably beat my children more if we have too many of these. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there so everybody hears it.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard
Sam's
it.
going to beat his kids
That's
even
right.
more.
I love positive environments, but once in a while,
Just so you guys know, Sam's beatings are like noogies. Okay, they're not like actual.
yeah, I'm gonna give them noogies, grundies. We used to pull Cash's feet back when he was little and stick him in the back of his underwear, and he'd rock back and forth. Couldn't get out.
Aw.
It's the funniest thing you ever saw. He's a good sport. The kid's hilarious.
How old is Cash now?
He's 12,
12?
and Blaze is 13. They're 15
Man.
months apart.
Well, I know Cash just got in on jiu-jitsu with us, and so, I don't know. He's a strong kid.
Yeah,
Oh, he's so good. I'm so thankful for
he
that
has
too.
to be.
Well, I've said that for a while, just from the videos that Sam puts on Facebook of torturing the kids. I'm like, man, these kids are growing up like they're not going to be fazed by anything
No.
because Sam's always messing with them in good-natured ways,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, but it's enough to build those resilience skills that kids need. And so, yeah, he's out here doing jiu-jitsu with all the adults, and I mean, he's keeping up.
Yeah,
He's keeping
I
up for
believe it.
sure.
I'm so proud as a parent. Make you feel good because he enjoys it.
Yeah.
He's so happy with it. But
Great. I
It's
didn't know
great.
he was doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he just got started, 2 weeks ago?
yes.
2 weeks ago.
So I put him in wrestling for a couple years. He's tiny, so I'm like, look, man.
Man, he's not even small anymore, is he?
No,
Did
I
he
mean,
just
he's grown
hit,
a bunch.
hit a
yeah,
growth spurt?
He started growing.
I
But
guess
he's
I-
always been a tiny kid.
Yeah, I knew he was small there for a while, but he seems like he hit the growth spurt.
Oh, he's
sometime
solid.
in the
Yeah,
last year.
he's growing. His feet are huge. It's kind of funny. They don't fit his body.
I remember those days.
Yeah, he was in wrestling for a couple years, and I think that really helped transition him into this. So it's been good. It's just been, I don't know. It makes me feel safer too,
Yeah.
knowing he's taking it.
Cool.
Well, what else have you seen down at the jewelry store through all this? I know we got off topic for a second, but as far as small business in
So
Sykeston,
it's been good. So like I said, we had to come up with new ways. It forced us to advertise more differently. And it worked. Like we won
yeah.
as far as being
Was it
a
just
small
through new
business.
advertising? What I know you've told me a few times how this has been your best year ever, and do you think the big change was just your shift in advertising focus, or what made the biggest difference this year?
The advertising, I'd say the advertising and the being positive.
Okay.
So I was talking about that with here. Like I love coming here because it's so positive. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
We try to create that same environment there. Like I talked to you a long time ago. I told you, I remember I was like, Michael, I know you know this, but I said, I want to let you know that I see you've turned this into like a family. Like it's not just a gym. Like it's like a family, and you like coming. You make people want to come. And Paige, I don't mean to.
Yeah.
I mean, Paige is sitting over here. I guess.
Fuck you too,
Barry.
Sam.
Yeah.
Paige got the first F-bomb.
Yep. That's what I deal with. So, but I mean, yeah. So for both of you, but yeah, it's like you helped create a family environment, and it's stronger and it's positive. So, and that's something we wanted to try to do too.
Nice.
And by doing that, by just being positive, and when people come in, you be positive and you talk to them, it helped. Like, it just, that's really all it took. And we had to advertise, we had to get the people in, we had to remind you who we are, and we had to keep reminding you. Everybody was at home through COVID, so do social media. It was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
So what makes sense? Get on social media a little more often. Start advertising on TV more often if they're watching TV. You
Yeah.
know? And then when they come, just be positive. Talk to them about good things and be happy. And that's all it took. I mean, it was pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's just a mindset shift, or I don't know, just a shift in the type of atmosphere that you created, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Your social media advertising, I know, does wonders for you because
Y'all have been killing it this
just
year.
from working
yeah.
in there for a couple weeks over Christmas, like people would come in and say, "I saw this on Facebook. I saw this
Yeah.
on Facebook. I saw this on Instagram." A few people have said they've seen it on TV and stuff. You know, it's kind of maybe some older clientele or the ones that kind of still
Yeah.
watch the local television stations. But that social media has benefited you a lot. Whereas like here at the gym, it's a little bit different. So this is a cool way to look at it, is like the perspective of you have a physical item for sale, physical items for sale, and we have this is not a physical item, physical activity. We've got, like this, it's something that you come back for every single day, where
Yeah, we sell
it'd be
a service
awesome if
versus
people
a-
would come in and buy jewelry every single day, but it's just not how that necessarily operates. So our best advertising is word of mouth. When people tell their friends and they tell their friends and so on and so on. Like that's our best way to get around. Yeah, social media advertising obviously helps, but what would you say? Like 80% of the people that come in here hear about it from somebody else, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And that's definitely been our bread and butter. Like we didn't even do any advertising for several years, like hardly even on Facebook. But it does definitely seem like with this type of service provider thing that if you tap into a new friend group, then you get a lot of those friends that want to try it out. And so it's
Yeah.
definitely more of a word of mouth thing that we've always worked with.
Yeah, and you definitely get similar situations for sure because of your attitude in the business. Like people are like, "Hey, I went to Sam." Like you may happen to find some awesome piece of jewelry somewhere else, but like, "Hey, I went to Sam and he's gonna take care of you really well." Well, they're gonna be like, "All right, screw that. I'm gonna go to Sam."
Yeah,
So that
service
helps a
has been a
lot.
big part of what's gotten us to the top. Just talking to people, taking those phone calls, and somebody comes in, when somebody, say I sell a piece of jewelry and it has a problem, and somebody comes in and they say, "Hey, this has a problem." For whatever reason, a lot of times when you go places in any business and you say, "Hey, I got something from you, it's got a problem," for whatever reason, a lot of times that business will want to argue with you or
Yeah.
an employee, and it doesn't make any sense. When it comes down to it, you're like, "Well, that's our product. It messed up. It's pretty simple. We need to hurry up and fix that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
apologize. Thanks for coming in." And we thank them, because if they didn't come in, they'd have that piece and they'd just be upset.
Right.
And so when they come in, you thank them, and you do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so simple.
It seems
Yeah.
so
A lot
of
simple.
things.
Some people just can't
They
grasp
just,
it.
They
somehow.
don't. I don't know. I just listen, man. Just be positive, you guys.
Yeah.
I swear to gosh, life is
seems,
better.
Right.
It definitely seems so simple, but I definitely recognize that some people have their egos caught up in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what may happen in a lot of these situations is somebody comes in with a problem, and then that business owner or service provider, whoever it is, they've got their ego too wrapped up in it, and they don't want to admit that their situation had a problem, and they just can't get past that. And so all they do is create future problems for themselves by being too attached to that ego.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when you can step back from that and just recognize that this is a problem that needs to be solved. My ego doesn't matter, but if I can remedy this problem in some kind of way and let that person leave feeling better about that, then they are going to be a repeat customer. And
Yes.
you're just going to put more positivity out into the environment. I mean, like I say, it seems so simple, but sometimes in practice it can be a little more difficult.
No, you're right. It is people's ego. So I had this cool thing happen. So my mom comes down a couple weeks ago. She got this new boyfriend. His name's Jack. Cool
Okay.
guy. All right. Listen, I'm not a liberal. All right. I don't got any problem with you. It's pretty. Everybody kind of knows. All right. So this cool thing happened. So Jack's pretty liberal, but he's very smart, very intelligent, very fun to talk to.
Right.
He's done so much. Okay. So and this is leading into this ego thing. So me and him, we start talking, having a conversation. A long time ago, if you would have come up to me and debated with me on something, I probably would have gotten a little pissy and really tried to debate you hard.
Yeah.
And probably not in the right way. and not really learned. All I did was go there and I just start smacking heads with you.
Yeah, just
Okay.
arguing your own perspective.
Because of my ego.
Yeah.
So just, I don't know, being older and learning, being in different things, learning things from business, learning things from coming here, from all these environments, learning how to set that ego aside a little bit and listen. We sat and we talked and we were debating something about guns. And in the middle of the conversation, I stopped and I said, Jack, I just want to tell you, I really enjoy this. Like, I'm not mad. I am learning right now how to debate with you, and I'm learning how to debate with other liberals because you're extremely intelligent. Like, he's extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
He pretty much won. Okay, he won.
Okay.
I don't care. I still think I'm right. But he won. But what was great was I was actually, for one of the first times debating like that, I was able to sit back and say, look how much you're learning.
Yeah.
Don't get pissy. And just listen and learn.
That's big.
And it was
especially-
great.
I like that. That's really. I feel like that's more relevant now than it's been in a long time because
Well, it
there's
works
been
for
so
everything.
much. Well, there's been so much political discourse, and I hate going down that rabbit hole. But with all this political divisiveness that we hear about all the time in the media, I think it's more important than ever that we can't have our egos wrapped up in our political opinions either, because that's where you get taken advantage of, is when you get your emotions wrapped up in these things.
Right. And you have to learn to listen to the other side.
Yeah.
And try to, even if you don't agree with it, try to understand their point of view.
Which is so hard to do
It
sometimes.
can be extremely hard to do.
Oh my God, it's excruciating.
Yeah, I know.
Well, hey, I heard something I thought it was really brilliant a while back. It was something to the effect of, the mark of an intelligent person is the ability to entertain an idea without accepting it. And I think that's huge because, just because you're entertaining an idea doesn't mean you got to accept it. It doesn't mean you've
Right.
got to go with it. But you can still entertain it. You can still listen to somebody. You can still even, seriously consider the idea. That doesn't mean you're brainwashing yourself. There's
Right.
you can really get into some good conversations with people, and if you can set your ego aside, then you can, if nothing else, you can really bond with people like that. Even if neither one of you guys go or leave the situation with any different opinions, you got to bond with a fellow human.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, that's what we need more of.
You at least respect each other's opinions.
Hell,
little
even if
more.
you don't respect them, at least you
Yeah.
can bond a little
Yeah.
bit. And I mean, you're talking about liberal versus conservative, and I mean, it's hard for me to really even identify with either camp, because it seems like both camps get represented by these extremists. It seems like if you identify as a liberal, then you're painted into this corner of crazy left wing, and if you identify as a Republican, you're painted into this corner of crazy right wing. But honestly, most people are somewhere in the middle. It's just everything looks like it's fringe.
Yeah.
How'd we get off on that?
I don't know.
Hey, this might be the first time we've gotten even a little bit political on the podcast.
I don't know. Because as you're talking about this political and this, all I'm thinking about now is I'm thinking about too. Yeah, I know about not understanding. I'm like, I got these 2 teenage stepdaughters, and sometimes I'm like, what the hell? What?
Be careful
I'm like,
where you go here.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, well, I love y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess the older we get too, the easier it is to see. I mean, we were there too. Think about
Oh,
the
yeah.
dumb ideas we had when we were teenagers, or in our 20s, or in our 30s. All this on and on. And so, that's what life is about. It's all about growth and progression over time, and then you kind of unlearn some things that you used to know, and
Oh, yeah.
realize how some dumb ideas, and it makes me really excited for the future, because I think, well, I've got a pretty decent head on my shoulders, and I'm not even 40 yet. So imagine when I'm 60, like what am I gonna understand so much better at that point? I think that's a cool way to look at it, I guess.
Oh, also, I forgot to say, I would like to say on the social media, my wife does a lot of it, and I'm very thankful. Thank you.
the
Man, she's
best.
killing it. She's doing awesome.
Crushing that social media.
She's solid. Jenny helps me a lot. She's helped calm me a little bit. Jenny's the more calm one of our relationship.
Can you imagine 2 Sams in a relationship together?
Be a lot of tasing.
So does Jenny have some kind of a background in social media or marketing or advertising or anything? Or is
She's
this
just
all
crazy smart.
learned?
Jenny's really good. So she's run this cotton gin in the office and everything for I think 20 something years, and she's actually, her background's in political. She worked for in a Republican office or something. She did.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I should probably know more. I have trouble remembering sometimes. But no, she does a lot. But she's so good at, like, she can go into a business. Honestly, Paige, she reminds me, or you remind me a lot of her.
Yeah.
Because you do the same thing. Like, you just go in.
I'm just gonna do a little
and
bit of everything.
you can make things better. So, like, Jenny came in and redid all of with the way we did books, because that wasn't my cup of tea. And my business had like a 10% growth, 15% growth, just because she was keeping the books better. I don't
That's
know how that
awesome.
makes sense, but she can go into business and do that, and it's so impressive, and it helps me. And sometimes I bitch when I shouldn't. It happens. I apologize, Jenny, but yada yada yada. But I see that a lot in Paige. Like, we were so lucky that I asked Paige if she would mind helping us a little bit at Christmas, because it gets nuts and we need it. And Paige is just solid. So she came in.
I remember her
And-
telling me a month or two ago, she was like, yeah, Sam's just got a mess down there. I got to go and help him.
Oh,
clean it."
yeah. It gets a little nuts. We drink at work a lot, too. So it helps.
It's great. Business is good in the
yeah.
afternoons.
Yes. The afternoons are great. Depending on what time Melody makes her sweet and sours, it could be good at lunchtime also.
Well, I really appreciate a lot of the technology that we've got available now, because, you can have somebody with a good head on their shoulders like Jenny or Paige or somebody who, y'all are just intelligent people, so you're able to leverage. I don't know if Jenny uses Canva, for instance. I know that's one where you don't really have to have a whole lot of graphic design knowledge, but you can still go in and create some really cool things for social media, and so I guess I don't know anything about what Paige has been helping
you
me with.
You still have
but
to have some sort of like eye for it and attention to detail, though, like Jenny has, like where you can work with it.
But you gotta
I've seen some
think.
people make some canvas and it just looks like trash, and I'm like,
Of course.
Wait, what's
But
a Canva?
It's
Well,
just
it's an app
Those
that-
social media, like the pictures that she makes that have like the prices or like the move, just stuff
But
like
my
that.
point here is, 30 years ago, we didn't even have a program where you could create something like that. So, I think it's really cool to have the ability to do some of these things with iPhones and the internet and all of that. That's
Yeah,
given us
it's
some
so cool.
opportunities that we didn't have 30 years ago, and I think that's really cool.
Super cool.
Man, we jumped way off something.
Oh, yeah, we bounce all over the place.
I mean,
I'm
You
trying to
deserve to
think.
give that lady some praise. She's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I do.
Put up with your butt.
Oh, it's true. She is. Yeah, it's true.
Well, I guess that kind of makes me think of everything we've got going on in downtown Sykeston. I mean, I'm really happy to have gotten in down here when I did, because I think there's some real energy happening down here, and it's nice to be a part of that, because, we got small business owners working on things. We've got the city actually putting in some effort and attention and money down here now as well. So I think it's really cool.
Sykeston has come so far. So we opened our jewelry store almost 15 years ago.
Yeah.
April 6th will be 15 years. And when we first came down here, downtown was bad. It was awful. You couldn't ride a bike down the sidewalk, literally. It was that broke up and that
Wow.
bad. And it just wasn't good. But this is a good community. We want to be part of it.
Yeah.
So we've got to watch it in the last 15 years, the growth that this city has done. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You walk through our downtown now. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's only getting better too.
Yeah.
It's only getting better.
I mean, you saw what they did at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, it was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking around like, what the hell? This is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got all these businesses coming in. Sykeston is, I don't know. We're lucky.
Yeah.
This town we've got so many people that want this town to go forward. And you've got so many people there's so much pride. There's one of the guys works for the city. He's a young guy. I think his name's Terry. He's the one that did all this Christmas stuff. I talked about it. I'm like, what's the deal? He goes, man, I just really love Christmas.
Aw.
I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
what? He goes, yeah. He goes, in the city, let me run with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was like,
Thanks,
okay.
Terry.
Yeah, thanks. Like, that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, that's really what it takes. It just takes energy, and you can always see a place where the energy has just burned down. But man, Sykeston, I feel like there's just more and more energy being attracted to the energy that's already there. So I'm very optimistic for the future of this downtown area.
I think you have a lot to do with a lot of that growth too, Sam. Like your positive outlook and your willingness.
That energy.
He's
got that energy.
He's got
Got it,
lots,
baby.
He's got lots of energy. You're always willing to like participate in anything that's going on locally, and you're always willing to, you guys decorate your store beautiful around Christmas, and it just attracts other places that are similar to yours in that same area. So I think that you specifically, and then a few other businesses down there, have a lot to do with that. So
Thanks.
thank you for that.
You're freaking awesome.
We're lucky to have found this spot and been
For
able
sure.
to move downtown also and be involved in it now.
yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. And you guys are involved. You do things with the community. You do the floats. You volunteer. I know Courtney, I mean, she's been on so many boards volunteering. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because I've
Yeah,
seen her
I mean,
at a few.
They have done the downtown Christmas parade. What is this, the 4th year they did it?
Oh my
now?
gosh.
Or third
And that
year?
was the craziest. I mean, everybody that hasn't seen this, you got to come see this.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
They decided to do a Christmas parade. I've never seen that many people out on the street in my life. I've been in this town for 20 years, 20-something
Yeah.
years. I've never seen that. It
Yeah.
was insane.
I remember that
Exact.
first one they did. They really just thought it was going to be maybe 5 or 6 people that
Right.
showed up, and then it turned out to be a huge hit. And they were spazzing out for a second trying to get everybody in the right place. But then once it took off, everything just flowed. And big shout out to Courtney and Abby for setting all that up. I think they actually make a really good team on that, because you've got Courtney that's the planner, and she works on all the logistics of everything, and then Abby's super outgoing, so she's the communicator, and so
Yeah.
they've done some really good things with that.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Hopefully this year. Last year it took kind of a hit, I think, because of everything
Yeah,
going on.
the COVID silliness.
It was hard for
definitely,
people to get stuff together.
Yeah, it definitely had
place.
a lot more people staying at home than normal, but still there was a decent turnout.
Yeah.
It was more than
Bigger
I
and
thought it
better
was going to
next
be.
year.
I mean, it just goes back to the same thing of be positive, give back when you can. Part of your duty as a business owner, entrepreneur, is all these people are helping support us. Now we're bringing them in and we're doing the work, okay? And by them supporting us, we're giving back to them too. But at the same time, it's your duty, if you're able to give back a little bit to your community.
Yep.
And if you'll do that, that circle just keeps going.
Oh yeah,
around
it's like
and
a
around.
snowball. It
Yeah.
just gets bigger as it goes.
And it's the strength, and it's amazing. I mean, just like, I don't know, like seeing you all do more stuff in the community, I think it's one of the reasons we've all gotten tighter too, because we talk about it a lot. We both believe in giving back, and it's just, I don't know, it just all helps. I'm getting way off subject.
Yeah.
No,
All I was
I
trying
don't
to
think
say
you're
is
getting off subject at all.
your duty is, if you do well, give back a little bit. Don't give it all. You worked hard because you want to have a good life too, but give back something.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you do that, it'll help.
Money, service, goods, whatever you can.
Whatever way. Yeah. If you want to just write a check, that's fine. Write a check. If you want to volunteer your time, but do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada.
Well, let's see. Have you heard any good dad jokes recently? I know it's
Oh.
it's hard to come up with them on the spot, and I was looking through my notes while you were talking. I thought I had a list of good dad jokes.
Well, I've
but I
got this
couldn't find
one.
it.
I've told it, but I want to tell it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Where did Captain Hook get his hook from?
I don't know.
The secondhand store.
That's stupid as hell, Sam.
It's so good.
That's
It's
bad.
so
love it.
good.
I got another good one since,
Okay.
since it's snowing outside.
page's turn.
It was snowing. This one's thanks to Dave Dahlbeck, Dr. Dave. Why did the snowman keep getting injured in the gym?
Why?
Injured in the gym. Why?
Because he couldn't warm up.
That sucked.
We need to. I think we need to make this a regular thing. We need to
yeah.
if you get on the podcast, you got to come with 2 dad
the
jokes.
dads.
Oh, well, that's not fair. You didn't tell me before.
I just
that
now
was
thought
good.
about it.
You had a
I
good
just now thought
one.
about it. I just hit
That
you
was
with
probably the one you would have brought anyway.
it. Yeah.
This is
What
competitive.
about you, Mike?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I mean, you got those old standards like. See, I brought it up and I don't even have one.
Yeah.
I'm the one that brought this topic up and I don't
We
even have one.
win.
Booyah.
Me and Sam win.
So let's see. What's your favorite movie, Sam?
Oh, it's tough. So it's really tough. Okay, I got 3.
Okay.
It's real hard. So the first one is Commando because Arnold Schwarzenegger goes and saves his daughter. Like these bad guys come together and he just kills them all.
It's your
The guy's
dream.
like, screw you, I'm killing all of you.
That's your dream.
I'm getting my kid. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Okay, so what do you think about the Taken movies with Liam Neeson?
Oh, I
do you
love
like
them.
those?
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I figured you would.
Yes, because he's like,
It's the same storyline.
yes,
It's the
it
same
is.
storyline.
Oh, it's so great. It's so great. All
Okay,
right.
so what's your other two?
The other two, okay, is The Last Dragon with Bruce
that's a good
Leroy.
one. That's a good
Leroy.
one.
Oh my God! Hey, who's the baddest? Baddest Motown town around. Sure enough. Who's the baddest man? Sure enough.
Bruce
my
Leroy.
Oh my God! It's the greatest movie. He gets the glow. He's
I've
like, I
never
got the
seen
glow, and they start kicking each other's ass. And like the good guy's got a blue glow, and the sure enough, he's got the red glow.
What?
Oh, you got I
I've
have
never
it.
even heard of this.
Oh my God! Listen to me. I will give you the movie. I gave it to Maisha
I
to
don't
watch
have a
with her
VCR.
son.
Is it on VCR? Nobody has those anymore.
Ah, get out of here, Paige.
Jesus.
It is, isn't
Well,
it?
it's a positive environment, guys.
Have you ever seen Black Dynamite?
No.
You gotta watch Black Dynamite.
Oh, I'm in.
It's one of those. I mean, it's the same kind of style. It's like a rip off of that old blaxploitation type film from the '70s, but it's got Michael Jai White. Do you know who that is?
No.
Oh, just watch it. I'm not even gonna spoil
You
it.
gotta tell me what it's about.
It's the same kind of thing. It's karate. It's a detective. I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
I like that.
it's goofy. But there's action and lots of sarcasm. It's funny.
All right. My third one is Streets of Fire. Now this is
of
old
Fire.
school, okay? But
Okay.
you will
I'm
love
trying
it.
to remember this one.
Oh, you gotta! It's so good. So listen to me. This hot chick that like sings was this guy's girlfriend, and like she's so freaking hot. And then she gets kidnapped by the bikers. They like rush the stage and they take her, and like it's awesome. And let me mention again, she's really hot. and so
There's
they
a theme here.
Oh yeah, they take her back to their clubhouse.
Oh, this looks corny as hell.
No,
I
it's
was about to say, this
listen to me.
sounds
I
really
own this
cheesy.
also on DVD now.
Okay.
Page. And then like
Paige is acting like she doesn't have a VCR at home.
I bet she does.
Dope.
She's got one.
And then like he comes back from like the army and like one of the first scenes, he walks in this diner where his sister is, and these punks come in, like the little gangsters,
Yeah.
and guy whips out a butterfly knife and he takes it and slaps him in the face, and then he flips the butterfly knife really cool, and then throws it back at him and says, "Try it again." I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
So it's action movies for you. You like
Yeah.
action movies?
Yeah.
All right, what you got, Paige?
Anything with cool fight scenes?
Yeah, it's all about the action. Paige, you just watch like Netflix shows, don't you? Do you watch movies?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Do you have
I'll
a
watch
favorite?
movie. Like, I don't know. I can't remember the names of movies, so like when I watch something, I don't like pay attention to the name of it. I can't remember this.
Sounds like parenting.
Right. One of my favorite movies of all time would probably be like Tombstone. I thought that was a good
Ooh,
one.
yeah, that's good.
Man, it's been so long since I've watched movies.
A cool new one I watched was I can't remember the name of it. It was on Netflix. It's about this kid who grew up in Kentucky, and his family was just like white trash, basically, like very trashy. And he grew up and basically rose from the ashes and went to law school at Yale, I think. I can't remember the name.
So is
of
it a feel-good movie?
Yeah,
or
it's a
is it-
feel-good movie. I thought it was
Does it
great.
have drama?
Yeah, it was like a drama.
Any
feeling.
butterfly knives and fight scenes?
No, none of that. Sorry. Oh, actually, there was one good fight scene where he beat somebody up. He just bare knuckled some dude. But yeah, I can't remember the name of it. So if you're listening, you know what it is if you've seen it.
Well, okay, speaking of fight scenes, have you guys seen the Cobra Kai thing on Netflix?
Yes.
I still haven't seen it. There's been a lot of people talking, I guess there's memes about it and people talking all kinds of smack, but I haven't seen it yet.
I've watched the first couple episodes and it was good.
Is it?
It was pretty good.
I know it's supposed to be kind of corny
Yeah.
and funny.
It's a
but
little corny, but it's good.
The problem is,
Oh.
what's the name of the movie?
Hillbilly Elegy. That's what
Okay. I heard somebody talking about that one.
I thought it was good. Some people were like, didn't really care for it, but I thought it was good.
So the problem for me with Cobra Kai is it reminds me too much of the people that I grew up around when I was like 10, 11, or no, I guess it'd be 12, 13, 14 years old. Just like thugs that wanted to be Karate Kids. So it hits a little too close to home for me.
Oh my god! All right, what's your favorite movie?
Well, the only one I can think of off the top of my head would be it was a new one on Netflix just in the last few months, but I think what was it called? Old Guard.
Oh, yeah, that one was good.
I saw that.
It was good, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
What's her name?
She's hot.
Yeah. But anyway, that movie took me by surprise. I didn't think that was going to be good, but that turned out to be a really good movie,
Yeah.
and it left. Typically, I get so aggravated about cliffhangers. I'm just like, come on, you're
It
just
was
going to
a
cut it
cool-
off here. But the cliffhanger
think they're
they
gonna
left
do
on
another
that was
one.
fantastic, and they really set up the future potential for a great sequel to that movie.
I think they're going to do one.
They were ass kickers.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you read about it on paper, it sounds corny. But man, that movie was good. It really was good.
Just watching the preview for it, I thought it looked corny, but I was like, I'll just
same
turn it
here.
on while I'm doing something else. And then I was like,
I don't even know why I actually
Glued.
clicked on it, because when I saw the preview, I was like, oh, this is
It
going to be
wasn't
trash.
that great.
But maybe Courtney wanted to watch it, and so I was like, yeah, I'll sit through this with you. And I was hooked within like 3 minutes.
yeah.
yeah.
It was
And
good.
I'm looking forward to the next one. I remember, I guess my other favorite would be Super Troopers. So I remember when Courtney
Is
and
that
I
just because it was like your first date?
no. So when Courtney and I first got together, we for some reason we were talking about Super Troopers, and we both basically said it was our favorite movie. And back then, I guess Courtney and I have been together for, it's going to be 13 years here soon. In September, I think it'll be 13. So 13 years ago, they were talking about Super Troopers 2. They were talking about a sequel, and so Courtney and I weren't even together yet. We were just kind of talking, and we were like, yeah, let's make a date to go see Super Troopers 2 when it comes out, because they were acting like it was going to be within a year. Well, it took them like 11 years to make that sequel, but, you know, obviously we were married by then, so we went to the theater and watched the double feature. So it was on opening night. They played Super Troopers 1 and then premiered Super Troopers 2 right after that. And so we were in the theater for like 4.5 hours just laughing our asses off watching those two movies back to back. And now fast forward to about a week and a half ago, we watched Super Troopers again for the first time since we saw it a year and a half ago or whenever, and we didn't remember most of it. It was just brand new funny all over again. So if you haven't seen Super Troopers 2, I think they made a fantastic sequel.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they do
remember
these,
that.
the sequel turns out to be corny, but this was good.
Cool.
Well, we could sit here talking about movies all day long, so we probably better cut it off there. I think we're already at the 45-minute mark. So.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Sam.
Yeah,
It
Sam.
was a fun talk.
I really liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Good.
It's
Just
good.
talk.
I like talking to y'all. Everybody's positive. You guys are just positive people, and it is
thanks.
nice to engage in conversation with you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just like hanging out with the people. I like hanging out with cool people, and I like talking. So
Yep.
we thought you'd be the natural next guest on the podcast.
It's
That
damn
was a
right.
good time.
I like hanging out with you. I like talking. You're easy to talk to. So
Yeah.
here we are.
If you're cool and you want to talk, let us know.
And come with a dad joke.
Oh, yep. Hey, I would like to say, I just want to say that I love my wife, Jenny, my oldest stepdaughter, Bailey, who is a badass volleyball player. She
Yeah,
will-
I've been hearing some things about this volleyball.
She plays for college, and watching her crush the ball makes me so happy. And I want her to crush the other teams. I don't mean that kind of in a bad way, but in a good way. But if I see her like smash somebody, I'm so happy. I like it. And then my other stepdaughter, Molly, who is a badass, she's actually Miss Teen Missouri rodeo. Miss
Yeah.
Queen, Miss. However you say it, she's Queen.
Miss Teen Missouri Rodeo
Yeah.
Queen.
Yes. Thank you, babe.
I don't know if that's the official.
I
but yeah.
think it is, but
It
she
sounds good.
Oh yeah, and
It
she's a
rhymes.
badass and can sing. The kid's
Yes,
freaking
she can
awesome.
sing so well.
Yeah, she's a badass too. And then Blaze is a badass. My other daughter, she's rodeos and just kid can. I don't know. She's just
Yeah.
fun. Lets me throw balls at her. And then my
Just
son,
takes it.
God, he's my son. He's awesome. He likes to blow stuff up and
Yeah.
burn stuff.
After-
and shoot guns.
After hearing Sam's personality, you can only imagine what his kids are like.
So I just wanted to say that I love all of them. I wanted to before we ended.
Yeah.
All right. I like
You're
it.
a great dad, Sam.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. If you guys need some fine jewelry, go see Sam at
Sam's Fine Jewelry in downtown Sykeston.
Or Melody, Maisha, or Hector. Hector will Just say hi. He's too busy. Sam won't let you talk to
He's
him.
always goldsmithing. The guy who does a lot of work, a lot.
Well, let's just cut it off there. We've got our signature sign off. Have you heard it yet? No, you don't have to know.
Oh, bye.
Yeah,
I thought we were.
You don't have
we
to
just give it a
know.
3, 2, 1 countdown. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, bye.
Bye.